Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're hearing the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any section using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Key functionalist thinkers and their contribution to discourse analysis. The contributions of key functionalist thinkers such as Michael Halliday, Roman Jakobson, and Hymes have each uniquely advanced the field of discourse analysis, highlighting the diverse roles language plays in social contexts. Halliday's systemic functional linguistics (SFL) emphasizes language as a multifunctional tool within cultural and social operations, identifying specific meta-functions that language serves in constructing realities and shaping interactions. Roman Jakobson's model of communication functions broadens this perspective by categorizing the various communicative functions of language, such as expressive, conative, and referential, providing a framework to explore how language achieves multiple purposes in communication. Hymes, with his ethnography of communication, introduces a methodological approach that considers the cultural and situational contexts of language use, emphasizing the importance of understanding communication within its social setting. Together, these theorists have profoundly impacted discourse analysis by providing comprehensive frameworks that reveal the intricate ways language functions to mediate, construct, and negotiate social realities. This introduction aims to encapsulate their collective influence, underscoring the functional versatility of language as explored through their significant and varied theoretical contributions. 1. Michael Halliday. Michael Halliday is a foundational figure in the realm of functionalism, particularly within the context of discourse analysis. His development of systemic functional linguistics (SFL) marks a significant contribution to the field, emphasizing language's role as a versatile tool for making meaning within cultural contexts. Halliday's work is distinguished not just by the creation of a theoretical framework but also by how he intimately connected language to its social function, viewing it as inherently tied to the fabric of human interaction and cultural expression. 1. Halliday's background and motivation. Born in 1925, Michael Halliday's academic journey led him to study Chinese language and linguistics, which significantly influenced his later work in developing SFL. His experiences and observations of language use in different cultural contexts informed his belief that language could not be adequately understood outside of its social purposes. Halliday's interdisciplinary approach, drawing from linguistics, sociology, and semiotics, positioned him uniquely to craft a theory that saw language as deeply entwined with human social life. 2. Establishing SFL. Halliday's establishment of SFL was a response to the need for a linguistic theory that accounted for the functional diversity of language in social contexts. He proposed that language serves three broad metafunctions: ideational, representing the world; interpersonal, establishing social relationships; and textual, organizing language itself. This framework allows for the analysis of discourse not just as text but as a dynamic interplay of meanings, relationships, and contexts. 3. Framing language as a tool for meaning-making. At the heart of Halliday's functionalism is the idea that language is the primary means through which individuals construct and negotiate meanings within their cultural environments. His perspective shifted the focus from the structural properties of language to its functional capabilities, arguing that every linguistic choice is motivated by the speaker's intent to achieve certain communicative objectives. This approach has been instrumental in discourse analysis, offering a lens through which to examine how texts and spoken language perform various functions across different cultural settings. 4. Significance in analyzing discourse. Halliday's SFL has profoundly impacted the analysis of discourse by providing tools to explore how language operates within specific social contexts. By focusing on the functional aspects of language, SFL allows researchers to delve into how discourses are constructed to fulfill social purposes, shape identities, and negotiate power dynamics. His work has been particularly influential in educational linguistics, legal language analysis, media studies, and beyond, highlighting the versatility and depth of SFL in uncovering the nuanced ways in which language mediates human experiences and societal structures. 5. Legacy and influence. Michael Halliday's legacy in discourse analysis and linguistics at large is monumental. His conceptualization of language as a social semiotic system has not only expanded the scope of linguistic inquiry but also bridged disciplinary divides, influencing fields as diverse as anthropology, psychology, and education. His work continues to inspire new generations of linguists and discourse analysts, who draw on his insights to explore the ever-evolving landscape of language in society. 2. Roman Jakobson. Roman Jakobson stands as a pivotal figure in the development of functionalism within the realm of discourse analysis, primarily through his communication model. His profound impact on linguistics and semiotics stems not just from the depth of his theoretical contributions but also from his ability to synthesize and innovate across disciplines. Jakobson's communication model, introduced in the mid-20th century, offers a multifaceted framework for understanding the functions of language in communication, a concept that has deeply influenced discourse analysis. 1. Jakobson's background and interdisciplinary approach. Born in Russia in 1896, Roman Jakobson was a founding member of the Moscow Linguistic Circle and later the Prague Linguistic Circle, two groups that were crucial in the development of structural linguistics. His work, however, transcended linguistic structure to include the functions of language and its role in communication. Jakobson's interdisciplinary approach incorporated insights from Russian formalism, structural linguistics, and cultural studies, allowing him to construct a model of communication that highlighted the complexity and dynamism of language use. 2. The communication model. Jakobson's communication model identifies 6 key functions of language: referential, emotive, conative, phatic, metalingual, and poetic. Each function corresponds to a component of the communication process: context, sender, receiver, contact, code, and message, respectively, and serves to illuminate how language operates beyond mere conveyance of information to include expression, interaction, and aesthetic expression. 3. Referential function and discourse analysis. The referential function, which relates to the context and the conveyance of information, is crucial in discourse analysis. It underpins the study of how texts represent reality, how they are anchored in specific contexts, and how they convey information about the world. Jakobson's emphasis on the referential function allows discourse analysts to explore the factual and informational dimensions of language in various discourses, from news reporting to academic texts. 4. Emotive and conative functions. The emotive and conative functions highlight the expressive and directive aspects of language, respectively. These functions are particularly relevant in discourse analysis for understanding how texts convey subjective attitudes and emotions, emotive, and how they seek to influence or affect the behavior or beliefs of the audience, conative. Analyzing these functions can reveal the persuasive strategies of political speech, the effective dimensions of literary texts, and the call to action in advertising discourse. 5. Phatic, metalingual, and poetic functions. The phatic function underscores the role of language in maintaining social bonds and ensuring communication channels are open. The metalingual function relates to the use of language to discuss or clarify language itself, which is key in analyzing discourses that negotiate meaning or define terms. The poetic function emphasizes the aesthetic and formal aspects of language, offering insights into the creative and artistic uses of language in various discourses. 6. Legacy and influence on discourse analysis. Roman Jakobson's communication model has profoundly influenced discourse analysis by providing a systematic way to explore the multifunctional nature of language. His framework encourages analysts to consider not just what is communicated but how language itself functions across different dimensions to construct meaning, express identity, negotiate social relationships, and achieve aesthetic impact. Jakobson's work remains a foundational reference in the field, illustrating the power of language as a multifaceted tool for communication and its critical role in shaping human interaction and cultural expression. In focusing on Roman Jakobson and his contribution to functionalism in discourse analysis through the communication model, we recognize the enduring relevance of his ideas. His framework continues to inspire discourse analysts to delve deeper into the complexities of language use, enriching our understanding of the diverse functions of language in social life. 3. Hymes. Hymes, an influential figure in the intersection of linguistics, anthropology, and sociolinguistics, introduced the ethnography of communication as a methodological framework that significantly enriched functionalism and discourse analysis. His development of the speaking model offered a comprehensive approach to understanding communication within its cultural context, emphasizing that language use cannot be fully grasped without considering the social and cultural settings in which it occurs. This perspective has been pivotal in broadening the scope of discourse analysis to include a more nuanced understanding of communicative practices across different cultures. 1. Background and interdisciplinary influence. Hymes was deeply influenced by the works of linguistic anthropologists such as Edward Sapir and Franz Boas, who advocated for the study of language as part of culture. Hymes' interdisciplinary background allowed him to blend insights from anthropology, folklore, and linguistics, leading to the formulation of the ethnography of communication. His approach sought to move beyond structural analyses of language to investigate the roles, patterns, and functions of communication within specific cultural settings. 2. The speaking model. At the heart of Hymes' contribution is the speaking model, an acronym that stands for setting and scene, participants, ends, act sequence, key, instrumentalities, norms, and genre. This model provides a framework for analyzing communicative events by breaking them down into their constituent components, each of which plays a critical role in shaping how communication unfolds. Setting and scene describe the physical circumstances and the cultural definitions of the situation. Participants include the speakers, listeners, and their roles and relationships. Ends refer to the outcomes and goals of the communication. Act sequence outlines the content and form of the communication. Key denotes the tone, manner, or spirit of the communication. Instrumentalities pertain to the choice of channel, oral or written, and style of speech. Norms relate to the social rules governing the event and the participants' actions. Genre identifies the type of speech act or event, e.g., joke, sermon, argument. 3. Application in discourse analysis. Hymes' ethnography of communication and the speaking model have been instrumental in expanding the analytical focus of discourse analysis to consider the cultural and situational specificity of communication. By applying this model, discourse analysts can explore not only the content of communication but also the complex web of social norms, roles, and expectations that inform and shape discourse practices. This approach has proven particularly valuable in cross-cultural studies of discourse, where understanding the nuances of communication requires deep knowledge of the local cultural context. It allows analysts to see how communicative norms vary from one culture to another and how these norms influence the organization, function, and interpretation of discourse. 4. Legacy and influence. Hymes' contributions through the ethnography of communication and the speaking model have left an indelible mark on functionalism and discourse analysis. His work underscored the importance of viewing language use as embedded in social life, directed by culturally specific norms and practices. By advocating for a holistic approach to studying discourse, Hymes helped pave the way for more inclusive and contextually rich analyses of communication across a wide array of social and cultural settings. Hymes' legacy in discourse analysis is a testament to the enduring relevance of the ethnography of communication. It continues to inspire researchers to delve into the culturally situated nature of discourse, enriching our understanding of the intricate relationship between language, culture, and society. 4. Halliday and Hasan. Halliday and Hasan's collaboration on cohesion and coherence stands as a landmark contribution to the field of discourse analysis, particularly within the functionalist paradigm. Their work, notably encapsulated in their seminal text, Cohesion in English, revolutionized the way scholars understand text construction and the mechanisms that underlie the creation of meaning in discourse. By focusing on cohesion and coherence, Halliday and Hasan provided a nuanced framework for analyzing how texts are woven together to form cohesive and comprehensible wholes, emphasizing the role of linguistic choices in facilitating communication within cultural and social contexts. 1. Background and contribution. Halliday's background in systemic functional linguistics (SFL) laid the groundwork for exploring how language functions to construct social reality. Hasan's expertise complemented this perspective, focusing on how texts communicate meaning beyond the sentence level. Together, they expanded the scope of discourse analysis by detailing how cohesion, the linguistic links that connect parts of a text, and coherence, the overall sense or unity of the text, play critical roles in textual function and interpretation. 2. Cohesion in functional analysis. Halliday and Hasan identified several categories of cohesive devices that contribute to the connectedness of texts, including reference, substitution, ellipsis, conjunction, and lexical cohesion. These devices work together to create a network of relations that guide the reader or listener through the text, making it possible to understand how different parts relate to each other and to the text as a whole. Reference involves the use of pronouns, demonstratives, and other referring expressions that point back to or forward to elements within the text, helping to avoid repetition and maintain continuity. Substitution and ellipsis are mechanisms where a word or phrase is replaced or omitted, with the meaning recoverable from the textual context. Conjunction refers to the use of connectors that signal relationships between clauses or sentences, such as additive, adversative, causal, and temporal relations. Lexical cohesion involves the use of lexical items that create ties across the text through repetition, synonyms, antonyms, and other semantic relations. 3. Coherence and textual meaning. While cohesion focuses on the surface linguistic features that connect parts of a text, coherence pertains to the underlying logical organization and the perceived unity of the text. Halliday and Hasan argue that coherence arises from the interaction between the text and the reader's knowledge, expectations, and the context of situation. It is through coherence that a text is understood as a meaningful whole, with its parts contributing to an overarching message or purpose. 4. Application in discourse analysis. The concepts of cohesion and coherence are integral to the functional analysis of discourse, as they enable analysts to explore how texts accomplish communication goals within specific contexts. By examining the cohesive devices and patterns of coherence in a text, discourse analysts can uncover the strategies used by writers or speakers to guide interpretation, establish relationships, and construct identities and social realities. For example, in analyzing academic texts, cohesion and coherence can reveal how authors construct authoritative arguments and engage with the academic community. In media discourse, these concepts can help elucidate how news stories are structured to present information in a logical and persuasive manner. 5. Legacy and influence. The work of Halliday and Hasan on cohesion and coherence has profoundly influenced discourse analysis, offering tools for a detailed examination of the functional aspects of text construction. Their insights into how texts are made meaningful and accessible have implications for understanding communication across a range of genres and contexts. This functional approach to discourse analysis continues to inspire research that delves into the complexities of language use and the ways in which texts navigate and shape the contours of social life. Conclusion. The contributions of key functionalist thinkers to discourse analysis have significantly deepened our understanding of language's multifaceted roles within society. Michael Halliday's establishment of systemic functional linguistics laid the groundwork for examining language through its social semiotic functions, highlighting its role in constructing realities and managing interpersonal relationships within various discourses. Roman Jakobson's communication model further expanded the analysis scope by identifying the diverse functions language performs in communication, enriching the interpretive frameworks available to discourse analysts. Hymes' ethnography of communication introduced a vital methodological approach for examining communicative practices within their cultural contexts, emphasizing the importance of understanding the social norms and cultural values that underpin language use. Meanwhile, Halliday and Ruqayya Hasan's exploration of cohesion and coherence in texts offered a detailed mechanism for analyzing how discourse is constructed to achieve communicative effectiveness and coherence. Collectively, their work has transformed discourse analysis into a robust field capable of uncovering the complex ways in which language functions to shape, reflect, and negotiate aspects of human social life, from power dynamics and social identities to cultural practices and institutional norms. Frequently asked questions. What is systemic functional linguistics, SFL, and how does it apply to discourse analysis? SFL, developed by Michael Halliday, views language as a social semiotic system designed for making meaning within cultural contexts. In discourse analysis, SFL provides a framework for examining how language functions across different communicative situations, enabling analysts to explore the construction of realities, identities, and power dynamics in various discourses. How does Roman Jakobson's communication model contribute to discourse analysis? Jakobson's model identifies 6 functions of language that enrich our understanding of communication. By applying these functions, discourse analysts can dissect the complexity of language use, revealing how texts achieve various communicative goals and effects, from representing reality to expressing emotions and creating aesthetic experiences. What is the significance of Hymes' ethnography of communication in discourse analysis? Hymes' ethnography of communication, particularly his speaking model, provides a comprehensive framework for analyzing discourse within cultural contexts. It emphasizes the importance of social norms and cultural values in shaping communicative practices, allowing for a more nuanced understanding of discourse across different cultures. How do Halliday and Hasan's concepts of cohesion and coherence affect discourse analysis? Their work on cohesion and coherence offers a detailed mechanism for analyzing text construction, focusing on the linguistic devices that connect text parts and the overall unity of texts. These concepts help discourse analysts examine how texts accomplish communication goals and construct coherent and persuasive narratives. Why is understanding the context of situation important in functionalist discourse analysis? The context of situation influences linguistic choices, guiding speakers and writers in effectively conveying their messages. In functionalist discourse analysis, examining the context allows analysts to understand why certain linguistic features appear in specific discourses, revealing the communicative needs and constraints of different situations. How does functionalism enhance our understanding of discourse? Functionalism highlights the social purposes of language, examining how linguistic elements serve communicative functions within social contexts. This perspective enables a deeper exploration of how discourse constructs social reality, mediates power relations, and negotiates identities, enriching our understanding of language's role in society. Can you provide examples of how functionalist principles are applied in analyzing specific types of discourse? Yes, functionalist principles can be applied in various contexts, such as analyzing the specialized register of legal documents to understand how language conveys precision and authority, or examining online forums to see how community norms and relationships influence linguistic choices. These applications illustrate the adaptability of language to communicative demands and the importance of context in shaping discourse. What legacy have these key functionalist thinkers left in the field of discourse analysis? The work of Halliday, Jakobson, Hymes, and Hasan has profoundly impacted discourse analysis, offering robust theoretical and methodological tools for exploring language use. Their contributions continue to inspire new research, highlighting the dynamic relationship between language, culture, and society in constructing social life.